So hello everybody, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a little bit dark because it is afternoon, nearly night. I think it's nearly 7 p.m. or something like this. By the way, at this point there should be darkness, but for some reason there is a little bit of light, so anyway. So this is a Cocote type of video. Cocote means conversation over coffee and or tea. When I'm not drinking anything because it's already almost, I don't know, dawn or whatever you want to call it. And so here we go. So grab your coffee, and if you wanted to share one with me, we'll add it, links for that down below. And right now we are going to talk to you about the maps, food, and what you should be doing or what can you expect in several aspects. And so in my channel, I keep talking to you about topics that you may think that they are crazy or out of whack or whatever, but all of them, most of my videos, are about framing situations into a level that you might be able to understand it better. Because if you do not understand what is happening, you cannot fix it, you cannot change it, you cannot transcend it, you cannot do anything. And if you do the process wrong, understanding this one, then whatever you do is going to make things worse. Especially if it is an energy problem. So, having said that, then, in the videos about maps and the levels of the games and how to understand the basic things, I have told you that you want to understand that we have like three realities. We have more, by the way, but in these videos I have been talking to you about these three levels that if you want to put it together, it's kind of like three holograms that should be matched. And if they don't match, then you have a problem. And so you need to understand what are the three holograms. It's kind of like you putting together three pieces of the puzzle. And one of them is the level of the game. Are you in the energy level? So are you in an easy, hard, normal, hellish, or are you in a hidden level? If you're in a hidden level, I'm sorry. If you're in the hidden level, you are in a deviation, and oh my god. Yeah, not sure if if you want to know. And anyway, then you are in a physical level. Physical as in it's not the same being in Canada than in Australia or whatever it is that you are living into. Because each place will have different kinds of situations that depend upon this particular map. And then the third one I have mentioned is the one that has to do with what are you actually doing, like the activities. And for this one, it will be you, your family, and your community. And then you, your family, your community, and it's a little bit bigger. And I have mentioned this before that you have five categories in this one. And so right now, I'm going to be talking to you about that one. Because food, or the production of food, is going to be level 1 on that particular map. Now, if you are in this map that I have told you, it has 5 things, five numbers or 5 levels. If you are in number 1 or number 5, you are in a corner, you are in a border, you are in the extremes. If you are in the extremes in any map, I have told you about it before, you don't have roads anywhere. If you don't have roads, that means you are the end of the deal. If you are in a border town, or if you are in whatever it is that you have a situation in which roads are going to be an issue, you're screwed, period. And so if you are in the level 5 or in the level 1, then this is what you can expect in the easy, hard, and in the hellish level. And in the normal level, you can expect this one to a certain point, but no, not entirely. Why? Because in the normal level, at least you will have some sort of protection and some sort of defense, and you can be logical about it, and you can even fight it, because it is the only level that is that is set up so that you can succeed, and it is because it is the only level in which men rule entirely. And so if men don't rule, then that's it, you're done. And anyway, so if you are in the level 1, which is food production, and level 5, which is ideas production, this is what you can expect from the governments and everybody else around in you. That is why you need to understand whether you are in this particular group or your community, how many people in your community are in this particular level. Let's say that you live in an industrial city, then you're probably in level 2. But if you live, for example, in a place like Silicon Valley or something like this, you are in the 5 level. If you live in a place that is all about food production because everybody's a farmer, then you're in level 1, or most of your community will be in level 1. Most people will find that their communities have some sort of percentage. Okay, so I have in my community, for example, my city, I have 40% of people that lives from the industrial area. So 40% of our people belong to the second one. But farming is like, no, not even 5% of my entire city. So 5. So if it is less than 5%, then you don't care. But if it is more than 5%, then you gotta start caring about all of those people. Because these people have different kinds of issues, and they will create your whole mess in your community. And they are the ones that rule in terms of the whole economy. And if you don't understand how that one will work and how that one will affect you, then you're basically screwed, because you cannot prepare, or you're doing preparations that will be entirely wrong because you do not understand how other people affect you. You are thinking that if you are prepared, you can do everything yourself. No. I told you, you are a drop in an ocean. The ocean beats you. So there are things that you can't control, or you can't do anything about it. And if your community is mostly number 5 or number 1 because you're in a border, then governments are going to take over your entire thing, and you're going to be done. Seriously. Because number 1 is not just food, it's also mining. I told you before, is the people that makes everything happen. The people that do anything that has to do with physical labor, and anything that has to do with survival level. And so survival level means somebody is going to make money out of it, and this means that you will be a slave. In these two systems, you will become a slave one way or another one. And it's going to be very, very, very bad, and very, very, very horrible for all of those people, because they do not understand what is happening. Why? Because the people from the ruling party, which is number 3, the ruling party of this map is a number 3. The one that rules communications and rules the roads and rules how things are perceived and things like this, which is services and things like this. The one that has access to cutting you off from the water, cutting you off from whatever services you need, which is the service, the map number 3. Whoever rules number 3 will make sure that number 5 cannot move, and number 1 will definitely be slaved, because you cannot make the economy work without the number 1. And so they need to have the number 1 under control, and they need to have the number 5 on good terms. And by good terms, I mean that they will also be slaves, but they will not be the same one. Because this one, you require force. So basically, yeah, you're a slave, I can pay you pennies. But if this one happens, you are a genius. And so you are not replaceable, but at the same time, not to the point in which I'm going to risk everything just to try to protect you. So you're going to have an issue here. So what does that mean? Let's say, for example, that there is a war going on, and you happen to be a researcher and teachers, university teachers and things like this. So at this point, whoever has knowledge, ideas, things that can catapult you to becoming the winning party, then you will be killed by all of the governments that are enemies. And you will be slaved and protected by your own government, but at the same time, this means that they will take over your assets, your research, or whatever it is that you're doing, because they cannot allow your work or whatever it is that you're doing to get out of here, out of hand. That it's sort of like, okay, let's say you are in the ancient times. If you are the one who produces bows and arrows, then you have now military advantage. So whoever invented that one it's going to be rewarded, but at the same time, all of the enemies are going to want to kill you and be dead. Why? Well, because you are the one who is producing the ideas. See what I mean? So you are number 5, border, you are done, because there is no more roads. There is not something that can be more important, or at least have more importance than you. And in the number 1, you have the mining businesses, meaning whoever is in control of actual mining, like salt mining, gold mining, rhodium mining, lithium mining, whatever it is. And at this point, all of those people are going to be very likely kids, and they are also going to be very likely young adults that cannot fight for the rights or whatever, and they are actually going to be slaved, and they're going to be taken advantage of, they're going to be poisoned, they're going to be anything, basically. Why? Well, because somebody needs to produce all of these things so that the number 3 party ruling will be able to take advantage of the entire system. And so they need you, basically. And they need you as in the physical labor of you, meaning men will be beaten. At this point, I can tell you that depending upon what energy level you're in, yeah, it's going to be way harder on men than anything. Because you can't send women to work in a mine. Why? Well, because they're weak and they're stupid. They don't know how to handle all of the things that men do. So no, at this point, men will be kind of like, yeah, that she's stupid, or she has a period, or whatever. So no, hell no. But men will be slaved, and so this is going to be an issue. And this is also going to work for when you're producing food. So what does that mean for you in terms of your food? So if you're producing, see, there are like 10 products, 10 food products that rule the world. These 10 food products are, if you control one of them, or you have access to one of them, the barrier of entry of this type of product is extremely high. Reason being, well, I have only 2 companies that will rule this thing, and then that's it. If you try to make it on your own, you won't, because these 2 parties will have, they are basically in bed with the ruling party of the map number 3. So basically, you are done. There is nothing that you can do about that one. Not even if you have, I don't know, even if you were to fight, for example, it's like you trying to compare the power of your entire country versus the entire conglomerate of all of the internet people. You're losing. Why? Well, because the other party has way more power in terms of convincing people, way more connections, and way more anything. And even if you are right, it doesn't make it happen, because in the hellish system, whether you're right or wrong doesn't matter, because the authority is not yours. If you're in the easy system, it doesn't matter, because what the hell, you're in a crazy system, so no. And if you're in a hard system, it's worse, because in a hard system, everything works with fines, and as in bribes, and yeah, do you have enough money to fight basically everybody who has bitcoins and everybody who has gold and all kinds of resources, while you, well, all you have is, yeah, but pennies. No, you're losing. And so this ruling party, the number 1, which is the one that is producing food, this is what is going to happen. The 10 major products: sugar, cocoa beans, coffee, flour or wheat, corn, and a couple of other mores and things like this, which are industry kind of products for others, including or not limited to potatoes, and the other one I think is tomatoes or something like this, but they are 10. If you are in these 10, then you need to understand this. If for whatever reason this one, just one of these 10 products starts failing in terms of getting to the right people, you will have a collapse of the entire economy in the entire planet. Not even your community, but the entire freaking planet. You cannot stop these 10 products from being there. You can only try to regulate it. Try, and I do mean try, because it's impossible. Unless you're telling me that more than half of the countries in the entire planet become normal so suddenly, then you are not controlling this one. And this is going to create a system in which slavery will be the ruling party. So what does that mean? It means, let's say, for example, that you live in Florida, and Florida is the one that produces a cane sugar for the United States, meaning sugar. I told you, sugar is one of those 10 products. If there is no sugar in your entire country, I would like to know how much you can handle 48 hours without sugar in your entire country. I can tell you right now that the mess that you're going to be in is going to be so huge that yeah, all of the politicians will fly back home and will try to fix it no matter what, even if that means destroying half of the other country. But they will not let that one fail. Why? Well, it's sugar. So the 10 products, it's like, how long do you think people can be without coffee, for example? Even if you are not the one that consumes coffee because you're a tea person like me, yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, try to imagine this. It is to the point in which there are memes about it that says they discovered water in Mars. Yeah, but not traveling until they discover coffee. Yeah. So try to imagine that you have no coffee in your country for 48 hours. All of the coffee shops will be closed, and people will panic, and people will fight in the supermarkets and in every single place. And then you will have people stealing the coffee from the bakeries, from the supermarkets, from the producers, from the import custom things, from wherever. And people will even get into other people's houses to steal the freaking coffee. You will see that if you are producing coffee, like you are in number one producing the freaking coffee, you will have all of your plantations all of a sudden disappearing on you in literally 20 minutes. And then you're like, I just left 20 minutes ago, my farm was fine. Yeah, now it's on fire or not, whatever, yeah, because you had coffee. And people are craving that thing, and because the coffee wasn't ready or whatever, they're going to take it, they will be angry, so they will set up your farm in fire. And it's going to be like that. And it's going to be way worse, because people are going to start panicking, because a lot of people can't deal not being with coffee. I mean, and try to imagine all of the Starbucks, all of everybody else just falling apart. And so at this point, all of the governments will go, I don't care what it takes. Give me the freaking coffee. I don't care if you have to go into the farmers and bury them, but you're getting the coffee here. I do not care how you do it, but you do it. And this is going to bring a lot of consequences, like all of whoever is producing cane sugar, whoever is producing anything like coffee, potatoes, like I said, corn and wheat, you will be a target. And so all of the governments will try to kill the farmers. They will try to destroy the farmers. And you're thinking, but that does not make sense. They need the product. No. What they need is the number 3 people, they need to control those things. And to control that, you need to have every single step under your command. Because if there is one thing missing, somebody can destroy you and somebody can take your money away from you. And if somebody can take your money away from you, then you kill them, or you destroy them, or you do whatever it takes, but you do not let them win you. And like I said, because nobody can live without chocolate, nobody can live without coffee, and nobody can live without sugar, and nobody can live without all of the things that we are used to it. So 10 products. And this is what's going to happen. If you are producing this in a small scale, like home, for example, for you, you will have government companies or government agencies and things like that coming to your house, destroying this thing for you, because you are threatening the system. And at this point, they will, if you are a big producer, let's say for example that you have a small farm and you're producing the coffee, all of the coffee that you have will be seized immediately, and they will give you a paper saying, we are paying you $1 for this, and this is a paper, it's not money. It just says, I'm going to give you $1 for it, and because it is an emergency, we are taking over. And then you will have 400 people with guns taking over your farm, and that's it. You are done. You gotta give them everything, and you just lost your entire thing. And now the farmers are facing all of the problems that have to do with paying money to the bank, taxes, whatever it is, and then you're on your own. And so if your community is like this, you're not producing anything. And since you are not producing, then the government, as soon as they take over things from you, they will tell every single person that the farmers, as in you. Then they will say, by the way, at this point I can tell you that they will also say that smart people are evil, and smart people are the reason why everything is wrong, and that's because the smart people are trying to take over the world. Kind of like Pinky and Brainer and Pinky and Brain thing, you know? They could be kind of like, yeah, it's Brain's fault. Why? Well, because he's trying to take over the world, and he's an idiot, and he's crazy, and he's stupid, and he's evil. Yeah, kind of like that. So farmers are responsible for all of the contamination and the pollution, and farmers are the responsible because you don't have coffee because the farmers do not want to give it to you. You don't have coffee because the farmers want to charge you $20 for it. You don't have coffee because the farmers are on strike, and they want to hire people, and they don't pay wages and things like this, and oh my god, they're going to try to destroy them. Oh, by the way, they will be able to do that because the people in the map number 3 are in charge. Whoever is in charge of map number 3 is the one that has access to all the roads, and therefore all of the roads, and I don't mean roads just on the infrastructure, I mean roads in everything. Roads as in connections, and roads in everything. And what do you think matters the most? I told you, you can be the best, and you can be the best prepper and whatever, but if you're remote and you have no roads and you have nothing, then you're dead. You're done. Because the most important thing is the roads. The most important things in any single map is the freaking roads. If you don't have the roads and the connections, then you're done. You can't fight this one. And that is why number 3 rules. Until we have a 6th level. I do not know what the 6th level will be, but I know that it's there, and we're probably going to get it up to 7, for all I know. But so far we have 5. And so if you are in the corners, you will be slaved. Why? Well, because you are the expansion. If you are the number 1, you are the level. If you're the level, that means that no one can survive without you. And if no one can survive without you, that means that all people surrounding you will try to either take you down, kill you, destroy you, or do whatever it takes, because no one wants you there. Somebody else wants your spot, so to speak. And so they are going to be able to do it, to the point in which there have been so many things that are like legally wrong with the first level, that you have no idea. If you have ever think about an apocalyptic situation, multiply that by 10. Multiply that by 10. And that is just one picnic, small picnic, for people that are actually going through this type of slavery, these type of problems. To the point in which, for example, let's say that you're in the United States and you're consuming sugar from the Dominican Republic, for example. And so the Dominican Republic, this is what they do. They take sugar canes, I mean the sugar cane plantations and things. They will take people from Haiti, which is a country that is next to them, and they will place these people to work because it's cheap labor and things like this. They will not even pay them, and then they will build small places, small towns for these people, and they will keep them there forever, and all you're going to do is you're born there, you produce cane sugar for your entire life, and you keep doing it, and your family has to keep doing it because people need the sugar cane, because the economy of the entire country depends upon that one. And so no one in the government can afford to lose this type of money, either because of the income or the industry or whatever it is. And so if you are a sugarcane person, men, not women, man, that means that let's say that the salary is supposed to be $2 per day, you're getting 20 pennies, or you're getting a quarter of a day, a quarter of a cent of a dollar, and you're doing all of the physical work. And that way, they can sell the sugar to the United States or to Europe or to whatever it is, and they can charge you very little money for it. And then the ones that are importing the sugar from Florida, because this is the whole thing, is going to be even worse. Why? Well, because they are killing the Everglades and they're killing everything to trying to produce the sugar. And why? Well, because sugar, if you have sugar, you have one of the 10 major products. If you have one of the 10 major products, then you are basically printing money. Printing money, printing money, printing money. And you cannot print money if you don't have labor that costs you 25 cents instead of $2. Because otherwise, your margin of profit is not going to be in the thousands of dollars. Actually, it's going to be in the thousands of dollars compared to the millions of dollars that they are making on a monthly basis. And that is because it's sugar. The other one is avocados and things like this. And so whenever you are buying a product, understand that you are buying something that is if it is in these 10 major products, avocados, potatoes, tomatoes, corn, wheat, sugar, coffee, and there are other, I always forget what the 10 are. But if you are in this thing, understand that it's being produced by enslaving huge amount of people. Huge. As in entire communities that produce the main product. The farmers. The farmers from that area. Let's say, for example, that you are consuming avocados from Chile. The ones that produce the avocados in Chile are creating all, and I do mean all kinds of problems for their own communities, because having avocados is the same as printing money. And so you need to control it. Somebody needs to control it. And so if somebody wants to make money out of this, they will find a way to screw other people, either by taking their water, taking their resources, taking whatever it is, and enslaving people, as in paying them 25 cents or maybe 50 cents instead of the $2 that they are supposed to pay daily. And they're going to do it through contracts, fake contracts. This also means, for example, that if you happen to be in a land, right now, in a land that is going to be developed for growing tomato, growing corn, or whatever it is that you're going to grow in there, you are going to have all of a suddenly you will have people, let's say that you are in the US, you will have people that are from all kinds of Latin countries and all kinds of African countries and all kinds of other countries that are going to be there, because obviously if you have somebody that is from the United States, they already know, hey, the minimum wage is $10 an hour. Yeah, no, according to us, we are going to pay the foreigners, we're going to give them $3 an hour. And we already signed a contract with them. Why? Well, because they're foreigners, they don't know what the hell they're signing. And also because we don't have to provide anything for them because they don't know the law, they don't know anything. And so if you are in the United States or in a country that has certain privileges, like Europe or other countries, you really want to understand what is happening in the production of this food, because eventually, one way or another one, this slavery process that you are creating, not on purpose, because it's not like you wake up and you say, oh yeah, I just want to have 40,000 slaves working so that I can get my sugar. You don't do that, right? But there are people that do it on purpose, by the way. And so this whole thing is going to create international conflicts. And this whole thing not only is it going to create international all kinds of international conflicts, but at the same time, it will create all kinds of environmental disasters that are going to end up killing everything. And the worst part is that, again, they're going to blame it on the farmers, but it is not the farmers, it is actually the companies that are not paying the workers properly. They are not taking care of the water properly, and they have the power to bribe and to control the governments and everything behind them. So the only solution here is you, as in a normal person, becoming normal. Now, you cannot become normal because there are too many things going on around you, and there is no way that you can find out what's happened. For example, when you go to the supermarket and then you go and buy an avocado from Chile, you're not thinking, oh yeah, but by me buying this avocado that it is from Chile, I just destroyed 10,000 people's villages because now they will not get water because having this avocado costed Chile 70 liters of water. 70 liters of water producing that avocado. And then it also produces all kinds of other issues like bribing and all kinds of things that you have no idea because you are probably not in this world. However, if you happen to be in the map number 1, you already know. And there are other problems that are even worse. So let me explain this. You are a farmer in France. You are producing wine because, oh come on, it's France. What the hell is France if not wine producer and liberty fight producers, right? And France is like the hippie crazy guy that everybody falls in love in terms of if it was like a person, right? And it's like this person that is free and it's all about traditions and culture and all kinds of things, right? So you need wine. Yeah, except that now you can't produce wine because every time that you're trying to produce grapes and things like this, you have a problem. What is it? Well, you needed workers, right? Because it's not like you can go and you're going to say something like, oh yeah, I can take care of 20,000 plants of wine, of grapes by myself. You need workers. And you also need a market. Because obviously you're producing wine, you're selling it. To who? French people, right? That will be your first market because it's obvious it's a consumer, national consumer. But what happens when you have now in all the other fields, as in not necessarily the grape, but everybody else that is producing potatoes, asparagus, tomatoes, or whatever it is, they are having all kinds of foreigners, as in people that are from Africa, Arab countries, or whatever it is, and they are not French. And now they have a problem with you, culturally speaking, because they cannot allow you to produce alcohol because that is against their own thing. And now they are working in your farms and they are working everywhere. And so what do you think is going to happen right there when now you cannot buy or sell anything that has to do with alcohol, even though that you have been producing wine forever? And now it's going to become even illegal because these immigrants will now have taken over the government. If they take over the government, then the map number 3 will change the leaders. If the map number 3 changes the leaders, then you can expect this system to become hellish or to become easy. If it becomes hellish or easy, it will become extreme. And if it becomes extreme, you can expect all of the people that are in the farming thing to go and be screwed all over. Why? Well, I just told you why. Yeah, because you can't produce without workers, and you can't pay them what they should be paid if you're a company. And if you are a normal person and you are like, no, I want to pay you properly because I'm in France and I'm going to do it legally, so I'm paying you the $2 daily or whatever it is, the wage and things like this. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we're all, yeah, we don't agree with the law that says that you can produce wine or whatever it is, so we are overthrowing you, and now it's illegal, so let's destroy your farm and let's burn everything to the ground. What do you think is going to happen to the people that are producing wine in France when that happens? Because, by the way, that is actually happening right now in Spain and in other countries where they are supposed to be having meetings, and in these places it's tradition to serve a lot of ham and a lot of cheese and certain products that are pig related and things like this. And the new ruling party for the number 3 says that is illegal and that is disgusting, so we are not going to have that one. What do you think is going to happen? They are going to go after those people that produces pig and things like this, and they will try to burn them and destroy them and do all the things just because they don't want it to happen. And all of this is going to, of course, kill the production. If you kill the production, what do you think is going to happen to the prices? The prices are now going to go to the roof. And not only that, but even if you pay for it, how exactly are you going to get it back? Because it's food. It's not like, I keep telling you that even if you prepare for food for a couple of years, let's say that you are lucky enough and you have $200,000 worth of food in your house that will last you 2 years. Yeah, but what are you going to do in year number 3? If this system is destroying everything, what do you think? Are you going to try ham ever again? Or are you going to try wine ever again? And things like this. And it is all because they are taking all of these people that are cheap labor so that they can continue, the companies can continue all of this. The reason why Europe is going to fall into this thing is because the companies need cheap labor. They need a slave. And most people in these countries are conscious. If you are a person in the United States or Europe, you are very likely a conscious person. So you're not going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to hire my neighbor and I'm going to pay them 20 cents a day. But I'm your neighbor. It's $2 and maybe even more because I'm your neighbor. And they have this kind of consciousness, right? But that is you, not the companies. And if you are trying to impose this thing in which you are training people and telling them, hey, you're not supposed to get 20 cents, you're supposed to get $2. No, you are a big threat to number 3, and therefore you're done. Because number 3 has, well, number 3, for all I know, they have a special phone that they can use, have on the phone number for the president or the prime minister or whoever is in charge of the country and say, hey, oh, you didn't pick up on the 3rd ring? Oh yeah, next election you are done and I'm destroying you. For all I know, the government is going to be out and I'm going to put somebody else in charge because we can do it. Well, let's see, how much you think you can control the country without coffee, sugar, corn, and whatever it is that I am selling? Yeah. I mean, come on, I have money to throw you around. So you have nothing. It's a war that you are not winning. Why not? Well, because technically speaking, the level of frequency and the level of things, the only level that could beat these 4 levels of the map will be number 5. As in, people who are extremely smart and people that can tell you how the hell to get out of a hole. And that is because they know how it works. But other than that, then no. For all I know, you're digging the hole even deeper. And for all I know, you're trying to get from the United States and you're trying to get out of a prison. And for all I know, you're going to end up going in China. And then you're going to create an international conflict because you ended up going in China and you destroy property in another country. And now there is a war going on because you dig a hole that you were not supposed to dig. Why? Yeah, because you didn't establish the situation properly. Why? Because we are not using our brains, our knowledge, our energy. We're not doing anything right. Why not? Because the people that are supposed to be in charge are doing everything to destroy you. Why? Because they need you to be a slave. Why? Because most of the people in charge are in map number 3, and in map number 3, there is no ruling. Seriously, there is no ruling in map number 3. And since there is no ruling, is whoever has the best connections. Period. And even if you have 2 or 3 people fighting for taking over the map number 3, it's a fight of titans. You don't know what the hell. And if you're not in that map, you're not into this particular area, you do not know how things work. So for example, I understand how things work for the 5th level because it's educational level. But understanding how the actual farming works, yeah. But since I'm in the 5, I can tell where the roads are. And if I was in number 3, I would probably be able to tell you everything because I already know what it is inside. But I'm not into level number 3. And I'm not into an industry. Every person will have one particular map in which they are developing themselves. And they have experience in there. And they can become experts in there. But you cannot become an expert into the mining process or into the farming process. Why not? Well, because all you need is just understanding how your body works and understanding a little bit about the traditional way in which you were doing farming and in which you were doing mining. That's it. You don't need to evolve. Level 1 cannot evolve. You cannot evolve level 1 no matter what. You can evolve level 2 because industries are incredible. Level 3, oh! Level 4, ooh! So you can expand. Level 1, it's just you producing the grapes, producing the wine, selling it. That's it. It's not like you're going to go and say, okay, I mean, from the grapes you might be able to put jam or you might be able to put other products, but even then it's just an expansion that will be done by the secondary industry, so map number 2. Because you're selling the product to map number 2, you're not selling the product to anything else. And so this whole thing is going to take you down if you don't understand where is your own map and what are the threats. If you're in 2nd level, you are in the middle. If you're in the 4th level, you are in the middle. If you're in the map number 3, you are in the storm. And if you are in the corners, you are in the slave process. You are going to be hunted down and you're going to be the scapegoat from all of the problems that the number 3 has created. Because that one is how it works. And so you need to understand this one, because that means that all of a sudden, let's say that the farmers, for whatever reason, they quit and they give everything to the companies. They go, okay, buy me the farm. I'm done. I'm selling you the freaking farm. And I'm taking my money and I'm leaving to the city to raise my kids into the city or whatever. What do you think is going to happen to food and all of these things when no one from the level number 1 decides to stay and they leave? Just because you can't expand this one, that does not mean that it requires a lot of experience and a lot of things that you do not understand. So for example, if you have the grapes and there are diseases that are attacking this thing, you gotta have a plan, right? Yeah, I wonder if somebody from the map number 3 will know what the hell to do. No. Why not? Well, they don't belong to map number 1. They don't know anything. Basically, they're idiots. They don't get it. Because what? Well, you are a genius in the map number 3, but that's it. You are not a genius in anything else. And what do you think will happen when the people that are in charge of number 3, which are into slavery processes, actually take over everyone who is smart and actually take over on everyone who is a base producer. What do you think is going to happen when that happens? At this point, I can tell you right now that they will have products that will protect, sort of speak, whatever freshness products they have, and they will call it something like a protection thing or whatever, and they will sell you whatever it is that they think is fresh, and you will buy it for whatever price, even though that is not fresh, but it looks fresh and it tastes fresh, but it's not fresh. And they're going to tell you that it's being produced by farmers when it is not. And they're going to call it organic, but it is not. And they're going to call it whatever, and it's not. And no, it's not. And then the consumer will pay, I don't know, let's say 10 to 20 times the actual price that you're supposed to be paying. And all of these things are going to be, of course, more money for the companies. And of course, at this point, they will create the real thing, but for them, not for anyone. And if they produce it for anyone else, yeah, I'm sorry, you are eating printed food. Like, well, because it's printed food. It's not the real thing. Why not? Well, because the real thing can cost $100 and the printed thing is going to cost you 20. Because I need to print money out of you. But the steak and everything else that is $100 is mine. And why? Well, I'm spending all the money that I'm making on you onto the real thing that it is for me and for me only. And then you will become more and more and more submissive. Why? Well, because the printed food and everything else will have things that will control your hormones. And that way, you are not going to revolt against me, especially if you're a man. Why? Well, because women are crazy and I can manipulate them. But men on the other hand, men will probably kill me. So, let's just put hormones in there so that, they're too busy. And that way, I can take the steak that is $100 and I do not care. Because for everyone else is making a steak here and is giving me $20. And for every single person that does this, so yeah, I'm spending $100 here for the real meat for me, but I am making $1,000 here. So even if I was to eat steaks every day, I still have $900 every day for me, so that I can travel and do whatever the hell I want. While everybody else, screw them. Somebody says, oh no, I have money. And I have the control of food. If I have the control of the food, I can put anything that I want into these things. I can put parasites in it. I can put whatever the hell I want. Why? Well, because I'm in bed with the ruling party. If I'm in bed with the ruling party, then who can go against me? Answer, no one. Especially if you're in a hidden level. If you're in a hidden level, then you're even worse. And I don't know what you want me to tell you. But the situation, if you want to fix it, or help the situation fix it, then here is what a few things that you can actually do. Ask for I am assuming that if you, let's say I'm assuming that you are in the US or in Canada or even in Australia, there will be groups that are fighting for fair trade. Fair trade. As in, if I'm buying the coffee, I'm going to make sure that whoever is producing the coffee is not going to pay 10 cents to the workers. It's going to pay them properly. And make sure that you tell all of the politicians, oh yeah, You want to kill the Everglades because you want to produce sugar? Mm-hmm. And if you kill the Everglades, then I will have access to absolutely not one drop of water. So basically, you want me to live in a desert because you want to produce sugar? Mm-hmm. Not happening. We're killing you. Kind of like that, you know? So there are revolutions like this. And the revolution starts when you have a group that it is so big with everybody talking about it, not online, but talking about it and being physically there, you have a majority of numbers. If you have the majority of numbers, there is no way that these companies can win. Why? Well, you have 10,000 people just looking over your shoulder. And I don't care if the owner of the company wants to fire me or whatever. I'm not going to fight with 10,000 people that are outside. Because everybody who works in a company is just a regular people like you. And they do not want to destroy things. It's not like you wake up one day and you say, oh yeah, I'm just going to help brain take over the world and destroy everything. Just because. You don't do that. Although you do it unconsciously or unaware because you're thinking it's just a job. No, it's not. Because as soon as you realize, okay, I'm going to leave my kids with the desert. Yeah. That is also why these people, the elite, are against families. Because if you are a person that goes, yeah, it's my job and it's my money, but if you have kids, you go, I'm not leaving this for my kids. Nope, nope, nope. No, you're not touching my kids. See what I mean? It's not the same. So if you have a lot of people that says, oh, it's just money, I don't care. Yeah. But if you have everybody else thinking, oh no, we have a family and we cannot leave this mess to our kids, then we gotta fix it somehow. That's just another story. This also influenced the salaries and the fairness thing. So join any organization that says fair trade, especially when it comes to these 10 products. Avocados, especially with the water situation in Chile. Like I said, wheat, corn, tomatoes, potatoes, sugar, coffee, cocoa beans as in chocolate. And there are other 2 or 3, I can't remember what are they. But I know that there are 10. They might be more, but at least manage these ones, you know? And that way, not only will you be able to make the system normal. See, every time that you help out the situation and you make the system normal, you are actually helping in every single thing that there is out there, including the traits, the conditions for everybody else for poverty. You're lifting everybody else for poverty. You're increasing. You are basically helping. If you establish 0.1 level of energy into normal, you are helping at least 1 million people. 1 million people. If you manage to do this tiny amount of energy that change into the normal system. Why? Because the system is about fairness and it's about males being in charge. Now, you may hate men, be my guest, but men are not male energy. Men are men. Men are just kind of like the result of the male energy. And so you want to support the male energy. Doesn't matter what you do, but you want to support it. Why? Oh, because male energy have the authority, and there is a reason why they have it. It's because they're idiots, yes, but they are fair. They are the very definition of being fair. And you cannot be fair if you have a system that is a slavery system. Especially when it comes to delivering your food. Because if you don't control this one, then you're going to be in a loop in which all you're going to do is eat plastic. And your kid will eat plastic. Your mom will eat plastics and things like this. Oh, and it's going to cost you more. Because the people that are eating the steaks, if all of a sudden they have to pay the steak at $120, now they don't want to make $100 out of you, they want to make $200 out of you. And guess what? They have the power to do it. Unless you decide to do something about it.